Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Good to see you all. So yeah, doing an early stream today because I have some other meetings going on this morning that overlap with the typical time. So yeah, that's why we're early, but hopefully we can still get some good stuff done. Before I get into it, I want to remind everyone that Gunforged is available for purchase. It's a goofy fantasy roguelite shooter, and it's a great way to support me, and also I think it's a very fun game. So if this is your kind of thing, definitely consider purchasing it. Again, it's a good way to support me. And also I've got the Udemy courses, which are linked in the description below. This is the Survivor style course. This will teach you how to build a complete game in the Godot engine, teaching you all kinds of good practices, composition, things of that nature. So yeah, another great way to support me and a great way to get your Godot learning journey kickstarted if that's something that you're interested in. I also have an in-progress Udemy course that's going to teach you how to build an online cooperative multiplayer game. That will be coming out shortly, so hit the notification bell to be notified when that goes live. And I think that's it. So yeah, all those links are in the description below. So what we're going to be doing in this stream is trying to build out the functionality now for this Phoenix that we were working on yesterday afternoon. So the Phoenix turned out relatively well, I think. And so now we just got to make this card actually functional. And that's what we'll be doing, like I said. So anyway, hello Adam, welcome back. Always good to see you, always good to see you. XCO, I don't think I've seen you in chat before. Hello, welcome. Good to have you here. Hopefully some more familiar faces will trickle in over the course of the stream. That's the awkward thing about streaming at the non-usual time, is that I'll see non-usual people. Usually. Non-usual people usually. So what do we want to do with the Phoenix? I think... What do we want to do with the Phoenix? So we want to make it do like a couple of bursts of damage. And then after, it needs to go dormant. Execute abilities X times before going dormant. And that should ideally also come with a separate texture. So anyway, I actually need to do this. Get rid of that. And then we need to export this as phoenix.png. Let's create the card first. Create new card, definition resource, Phoenix. Okay, this one is a minion. Is it a minion or anything else? I don't know. 2x2. Turn cooldown, let's do something like 5 maybe. Okay, art, quick load, Phoenix, display name, Phoenix, critical chance, critical multiplier. Okay, so that's good. And then I need to create a script for it. New file, phoenix.cs, boom. Phoenix. Okay, so this is where we're going to need to put in the limited turns. Let's see. How do I want to do this? I have a decorator. Conditional ability decorator. Conditional echo. Let's fix this. So I think what I'll do is I'll use this conditional ability decorator. This will somehow track the execution count. Let me see. Okay, so let's do this. Let's create a new composability. Let's do limited. Let's do finite ability. No. Finite. Do I want to call it finite? No, let's do limited. What do I want to call this? Limited. I'll just call it limited ability, whatever. Limited execution ability. I don't know what to call this, man. Too much pressure to name things correctly. So I think in here what I'm going to do is let's just copy something that's a little bit simpler. Paste this in here. What did I call this? Limited execution ability. So what I want to put in here is base composed ability to execute. And then we're going to take an int execution limit. So this base composed ability, so the way that I'm going to use this essentially is in my Phoenix. I'm going to say new limited execution ability, new simple fire. We'll make it do like 20. And then we'll say 2. It can do it twice. So that's kind of the setup that I'm looking for. And this limited execution ability now is going to do that. So abilities.add, we want to add the ability to execute here. Okay, so now we've got this conditional decorator. We can get an execution count provider. And we'll pass in this. Execution count provider. We don't need the card type filter here. We don't need that. We don't need that. Execution count provider is equal to that. Conditional ability decorator. We don't need the echo ability. Ability. Oh wait, I do ability to execute. Execution count provider. Count is less than 2. Okay. I don't know what the scaling should be. I wonder if I can, hold on a second. Can I just pass this along? Ability to execute. Oh, I'm not storing that? Okay. So I'm just going to pass along the scaling to the ability to execute, I think. Yeah, I think that's right. Oh, shoot. Oh, this is not going to work. Simple fire. Maybe I can do this. I wonder if I can get away with this. Apply this. Okay. I'm going to do something a little bit tricky here. We're going to do ability to execute.get description, period. Becomes dormant after execution limit. Executions, I guess. Should probably pass in private read-only int, execution limit. Okay. We don't need this. We don't need that. Limited execution ability. We're going to pass in the ability to execute as well as the execution limit. Get rid of that. Okay. Get rid of this. I think that's basically it. I think that's basically it. Hello, Felipe. Welcome. Hello, Ito Makes Games. Welcome back. Wondrous Ninja. Good to see you again. Parallel Highway. Always good to see you. How your future game looks like. It's looking good. Welcome back, Kelso. All right, well, let's see what happens. So we add the Phoenix in there. Let's go to the run manager. Let's clean up some of this stuff. Get rid of the slime. Don't need this scarab anymore. Should probably figure out why this isn't working sometimes. Will you create a Discord server? I think many of your community members will enjoy it. Yeah, I think I will do that in the near future. Oops. Let's just get rid of this. I commented out the wrong thing. Here we go. Okay. Let's see if this works. Moment of truth. There's the glorious Phoenix. Apply 20 fire, becomes dormant after 2 executions. All right, let's see what happens. We need like a sick fire effect when fire is applied. There's 20 damage there. Okay, so it's still ticking up, so we need to disable that. So we need to disable the progress there. It did stop executing, so now it's just a matter of getting the visuals correct. And I also want to change the card art, which is something that I haven't done yet. So, oh, here's the cat. Time to be annoying. It's the morning. Time to scream. You want to sit with me? Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Hello. Good boy. Let's see if he comes up. Come here. Hey. There he is. I would love to join it. Yeah, I think I will. I think I will. Do you have a technique to use AI very well? I use the LLMs, the Copilot and stuff for doing the rote code, as well as just brainstorming like architectural approaches for the code, and just general like research topics. Like I was using it for my part-time job to help me do some like analysis, like cost analysis stuff. And it's very helpful because it can parse a lot of data a lot quicker than a human can. So I just fed it a bunch of screenshots of metrics and whatnot and had it like compress those down and create like a nice little report and everything, you know? I think it's perfect for like a business use case like that, because I don't think any business really wants somebody that's getting paid hourly to spend a bunch of time writing documentation. So if I could just feed in the critical stuff, have, you know, ChatGPT or whatever write the documentation for me, and then I just like skim through it and make sure that all the numbers are generally correct. It saves a lot of time, and also I don't think anyone likes writing documentation anyway, so yeah, it's just good for everyone, I think. Yeah, the Phoenix sprite turned out pretty good. I like it. There are little things here and there that I'm thinking I might change, but I also don't want to just get dragged into working on the Phoenix the whole time. Love Phoenix sprite, thank you, Parallel. How long would you expect this game takes to develop? Well, if I was working on it like consistently for 6 to 8 hours a day, I could probably get it done in 4 to 5 months, maybe. But I'm giving myself a timeline of the end of the year, which is actually going to end up being like 5 months by the time my course is done. So we will see. It's possible it'll go faster, though. It's possible that it'll be relatively straightforward to get the game in place. I'm assuming that there's going to be some game design problems that need to be solved, and you know, there's going to be several rounds of play testing to make sure it's on the right track and all that good stuff. So what are you doing? I know. It's a nice strategy with AI. Yeah, I think so. I think so. If that is a helpful, I usually give IT a lot of context about what I want, and usually I give rough instruction of how, give it rough instructions on how implementation should work in steps. Yeah, it can be very useful if you use it right. I'm not in love with that sprite, but that's okay. That's okay. So now, yeah, if I start this combat, it executes twice. Oh, I didn't even get to apply that. I got killed before that happened. Rip me. We'll sacrifice the Phoenix. I have to work on this still. This whole screen and mechanic needs to change. That altar is probably going to go away. Or at least take a different form. Okay. Enough procrastinating. The hard part now. So the Phoenix functionality was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. But now we have to... Why is this wrong? But now we have to actually do a couple of things here. So it needs to stop ticking that turn counter. So I'm going to turn this turn cooldown to 2 just so that it's easier to see. Oh, it applied 3 times. That's not good. Wait, is it wrong? 1, 2, 3. Oh, interesting. Why is that not working now? Why is that not working now? Let's debug it real quick. Am I crazy? Or did it just never work and I didn't notice it? Okay, let's see. Value is 0. Value is 0 again. All right, so that's actually not working. Oh. It's not listening for... What? On ability executed is not being run. Of type I ability execution listener. Oh. Why isn't that working? So the ability here, limited execution ability. Why did that not work? Get all abilities of type iAbility execution listener. Can I execute this? Let's see. Yeah, we got the limited execution ability here. Oh, I know why. This is a little bit confusing, but I actually have to add... I have to add the ability execution, or the execution count provider as an ability here. That's what I'm missing. Is that what I'm missing? Yeah, because the way that... Oh, shoot. Yeah, the way that the base card knows... Where is the base card? Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Where's the base card? The way that the base card knows how to notify a listener is that it has to be in the abilities list. So the system here is a little bit weird. It sounds like when an ability executes, it's going to be like damage or something, but an ability in my system from a technical standpoint is basically anything that can alter the game state as part of the card's turn. So there's the ability kind of like what you see as a player, but the ability that you see as a player may present itself as like one ability, but it may actually have like 4 technical abilities backing it. And all of those 4 abilities need to execute in order to get the functionality. And so one such quote-unquote ability is the execution count provider. So even though this execution count provider doesn't do anything when you execute it, it's still extending this base card ability, and it still needs to be added to the card's ability list here so that it can be functional. Now, the reason I don't need to add like the fire to the ability list is because that is provided in the conditional ability. So the conditional ability can determine whether an ability should be executed, and it's a composite ability, which means that it's an ability that can have other abilities underneath it. So that entire list gets flattened. So when the base card gets a list of all the abilities, it just like flattens the list. So it goes and it checks all the composite abilities, it checks all the raw abilities, and it just gathers up a whole list of them. And that's why this Phoenix here, this has 4 abilities. So we have the limited execution ability, we've got the conditional ability decorator, we've got the simple fire ability, and then we've got the fire ability. So that's kind of how the chain works. It seems a little bit convoluted, but I actually think it's a relatively good system, because then I can granularly build out abilities by composing it from multiple different singular abilities, right? And it's hierarchical. So again, it starts with a limited execution ability and goes down to conditional ability, goes down to simple fire, and then fire, ultimately. But this is the only thing that the user is going to see. The player is only going to see this fire get applied. It's not going to see the functioning of anything else. So anyway, it's a little bit of trivia. So that should fix it. So it wasn't even working the first time. I just assumed that it was working, but this should work now. So there it goes. It applies 40. And it's not going to execute again. No, it did execute again. What in the heck, man? Hold on. It did apply 60. What the heck? Okay. All right, so back into here we go. Let's put a breakpoint there. Put a breakpoint there. I used AI for learning programming engine. It's very effective if you want to learn quickly. Yeah, AI is also very good as like an enhanced rubber duck or tutor. So I would treat if you're new to programming and you want to use the AI, I would treat it as a tutor. Treat it as if somebody's sitting right next to you and can answer any of your technical questions. Don't have it write code for you. But instead of trying to like figure out the right search term to use when you go to Google to figure out the piece of information you need, you can be very specific with the AI and like, I'm having this problem and like, here's what I'm noticing and these are the things I've tried, and the AI can like explain the stuff to you. So that's a very good use of it as well. You're going to switch. Oh, you're on Unity, but you're going to switch. And welcome to the stream, Geo, by the way. Do you accept 3D games for code review? I do, but I will probably be a little bit more hesitant to review 3D games simply because I don't have a lot of 3D experience, or any 3D experience really. Okay, so that value is 2. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let me execute this, please. False. Three. Why does it keep doing that? Is the conditional decorator not working anymore? What in the heck? I was not expecting to get bogged down with this. Oh, maybe this is being captured. Oh, this is probably not up to date. Oh wait, no, that's fine. It is returning false. Hold on a second. It's calling should execute. I think it's working. Why is it still applying the fire? I think I know why. Shoot. This is probably a problem with my game. I think I know why this isn't working. Oh, it's never even getting into the... Oh wait, there we go. Here we go. So the current ability is Simple Fire, but I think if I go to the next one, now the ability is Fire. I see. So I think my problem here is that my conditional ability decorator does not work if I supply a composed ability as the decorated ability. So that when the base card... So I'm setting up this ability parents array here. I think I know what the problem is. Where's my ability parents? Where is this being set? Collect abilities recursively. First of all, I think there's an issue in here. I need to clear the parents, and because I'm reconstructing it. I think what I want to do is I want to probably do this. Ability ancestors. Is this what I want to do? Hold on. Yeah, so essentially the way that the conditional ability decorator is working is that it has children abilities, and this try get parent ability will basically say, hey, if the parent of the currently executing ability is a conditional ability decorator and we shouldn't execute, then we need to continue. But that parent-child relationship, that ancestor relationship, is only established at one level deep. So what I'm doing in the Phoenix here, goodness gracious, there's too much going on. So what I'm doing in the Phoenix here, is I'm passing in Simple Fire, which is a composed ability. And that's what's being added to the conditional ability decorator here. But the Simple Fire is itself a composed ability that has this fire. But this fire is not being registered as a descendant of the conditional ability decorator. So I need to figure out a way of like getting all the descendants. So really I really need like a tree structure basically. I'm trying to think if there's a better way I can do this. Good morning, Ariane. Beautiful Phoenix you have there. Thank you. Hello, Angju Dev. Have I ever played Blasphemous? I have not. The early Phoenix gets the worm. Ain't that right? Yeah. Why do you ask if I play Blasphemous? Hello, Hyro, by the way. Welcome back. I will send you my atrocious code to laugh at when I finish my game. Awesome. What's my VS Code theme? It is Dracula. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Minnie Smith. Looks like Dracula. It is Dracula, yeah. Can't go wrong with Dracula. I've been blasphemous. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Maybe it's time to introduce a tree structure for this abilities here. Is there a default C# tree implementation? Hello, Raised Ball. I'm trying to decide if I want to introduce a tree here or come up with a janky way of doing this. I could do this recursively, I suppose. So I have this try get parent ability. Let's do this, maybe. Let's do, I think I already have this actually. I think what I might be able to do is this. Private. Private void try get ancestor t where t. Did I not do this right? Try get ancestor. Var parent is equal to try get parent ability. Var parent is equal to try get parent ability of. Oh, let's do base card ability parent equals null. Out parent while parent is this the way that I want to do it? Hold on a second. Yeah, since this is modifying out var next parent, maybe. Okay, let's do this. Ancestor parent. If parent not equal to null, ancestor equals parent. While base card ability do I need that? Hold on a second. Out parent. I think that's right. So I'm gonna try to get the parent ability of this ability. Oh wait. Parent is equal to let's do this. Child. This is so confusing. Child is equal to ability. Out var parent. Else. Well, we can just do this. Child equals parent. I think that's right. So we're going to take in the child that we're passing in. We're going to try to get the parent of that child. We're going to reassign that child to the new parent. But if that parent was the ancestor we're looking for, we're just going to return that typed ancestor. And we're going to just do that loop over and over again until the child becomes null. And then we'll return default if we don't find an ancestor. Okay, I think that's going to be okay. So now in here, let's do out base, let's do out t ancestor. We'll just follow the same pattern that we're doing over here. Okay, if try, okay, so this is going to become try get ancestor conditional ability decorator for ability out var decorator. I'm going to want to make sure that this still works too. So we're going to try that with the core vids. Okay, is that going to work? Let's see. I recently bought Blasphemous because it was on 90% off and is truly a masterpiece. I've been wanting to try it, but haven't really had time. Are you a chocolate milk guy or a strawberry milk guy? I like chocolate milk, of course. Welcome back, Kenny Az, by the way. Good to see you. All right, so let's see if this works. 1, 2, it should stop executing now. All right, we'll keep, it just applied fire again. What the heck, man? Why is everything that I do just absolutely stymied by everything? Something's not right. Okay, so fire. Parent is null. Try get parent ability of child. Hold on a second. Get all abilities, collect abilities recursively, ability parents. What is my ability parent? Oh, my ability parents has no data in it. That might be the problem. Why does my ability parents have no data in it? What? Oh, it's clearing every time. Oops. It's clearing every time because it calls collect abilities recursively here. Okay. That clear can't go in the recursive function. That makes sense. I probably shouldn't be establishing the parent-child relationship inside the collect abilities function. But since that's only really called here, I'll just call clear there. Okay. We are going to stumble and bumble our way through this until we get it, but I think that should work now. I keep seeing Blasphemous edits on Instagram. That's pretty cool. I'm a cow's milk guy. There you go. So this shouldn't do 60 damage. Oh, it didn't even apply the next one. So now I think the conditional ability is working. The problem is now this execution limit What is this tracking? It's tracking this. So I'll just make this less than or equal. Okay. $40. It should not apply anymore after this. It did not. Okay, cool. So now it's dormant, but it's not being shown as dormant, so it just keeps going through its turns. So it is working now. Goodbye, Phoenix. Let's just make sure that these corvids are working. Oh. I didn't have an opportunity to see if they were working. Okay. That execution, cool. So these are also conditional, these corvids. It echoes if the board contains multiple corvid cards. All right, that was quite an ordeal, but we did it. Okay. Now that that's over with, should the counter for the Phoenix maybe check for less than or equals? Yeah. Yep, that's exactly what it was. It's good to catch a stream early. Welcome back, Fiskits. Good to see you. It's peak. Are you by any chance a medieval peasant? Not that I'm aware of. I'm making my first game. It's top-down shooter, and I don't know what genre it should be. I mean, roguelike or RPG, etc. Any tips? No, I don't have any tips for that. I'm sorry, I don't. It's going to be up to you, up to your decision. I think it depends on, I guess, if you want to make the game a commercial release or not. Top-down shooter RPG is kind of an interesting thing because I don't think you see a lot of top-down shooter RPGs. So that might be an interesting one to approach just because it's a little bit unique. Looks like a Souls game, a 2D pixel art version. It's a wonder of science. Chocolate milk. I think looking at different games with different genres will help you choose genre. Yeah. I played Souls-like, roguelites, and many others. But I'm looking for something that I can finish. Well, a roguelike is going to be easier than an RPG, probably. I mean, you could combine them too. It could be a roguelike RPG. But yeah, if you want something easy to finish, then yeah, roguelike is probably going to be your best bet there. Alright, so now we gotta figure out how to make the Phoenix actually go dormant after it's... So we need to stop the turn execution countdown thing. I don't know how to do that. So ultimately that exists in the card UI. There's a debuff container here. Add a debuff. Wonder if I should use the debuff system to change how the card looks. think I will use a debuff to change how the card works. That's probably going to work the best. Hello, Santos. Do you use only C# or GDScript too? I also use GDScript. I'll use GDScript for the jam games, I'm sure. Hello, Alex Define. Just by glance, your code base looks pretty complicated. Have you drawn any diagrams or performed other planning, or do you just prefer to jump straight into the coding? I mean, I do planning, but I don't write the planning down in diagrams or anything. Most of my planning just becomes, it's just a matter of thinking about it, and then also there's an element of like reworking things as I go. Because inevitably, if I plan something out in too great of detail ahead of time, what inevitably ends up happening is that there's a new requirement that comes in that affects the design of the system, and it needs to be reworked anyway, or extended anyway. And so then it just becomes a matter of like, do I want to keep the diagrams updated? But also it's like, I don't need the diagrams. I think that I have a pretty good understanding of how my system works. And so the diagrams would just be extra work and not necessarily that much help. So yeah, don't really do any diagrams, but I do planning. I mean, I think about things carefully before I do them. I think, yeah, probably planning or those kind of diagrams would be necessary if I was working with another programmer on this, though, just so that we're on the same page. But since it's just me, there wouldn't be any use in doing that. Just finished section 2 of your course. Feels great. Trying to add some extra things so the game is isometric now with standard 2:1 ratio. Now I think how to apply fix to y-axis movement. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Glad to hear that. Okay, so I already have a debuff system in place. So what I'm probably going to do is use a series of debuffs to change the Phoenix art and also stop that turn counter from going. So we'll do that. I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break. And when I come back, we're going to go ahead and do that. So in the meantime, please check out the links in the description below. Those are all the ways you can support my work. I'll be right back, and we will get working on this next part of the Phoenix. All right, I'm back. Let's get right back into it. Can you just make the turn counter infinite so it never goes up? That is... So I think that's an interesting idea. The thing though is that I already have a way of preventing the execution of turns because I have this paralysis debuff. So that's just a matter of overriding this method and then returning false. So that will actually pause the card. The only thing I really need to add is a little flag to make the turn progress bar invisible. So the thing with the paralysis debuff is it pauses the card from being able to move, but that turn counter should still be visible. With the Phoenix, it's just disabled for the rest of the run, or not the rest of the run, the rest of that combat round. And so I can pause it, but then I also need to hide the turn thing. So it's a good suggestion, but I already have the code in place to do the pausing. So I don't need to do anything else regarding that. So let's do, I'm gonna call this like exhausted debuff. I think that makes sense. Exhausted debuff. Exhausted debuff. I can actually tie this in. Exhausted. So can execute turn is false. Now let's do this. Public virtual bool should hide turn progress. False. Then I'll just override this in here. True. Okay, so now in the card UI, so on card debuff added, what I can do is, do I have the turn progress bar? I do. So what I'll do is I'll just say turn progress bar dot visible. Am I setting this visibility somewhere else? Yeah, let's just do this. Equals not card stats dot debuff container dot should, or let's do this. Oh, this needs to be, yeah. Should hide turn progress. Active debuffs dot any d should hide turn progress. Oh, I'm passing in a target here. I guess I'll pass in the target just to be consistent. I don't really need that yet. I should be following the you aren't going to need it principle, but oh well. Okay, I think that's basically it. And so now, I need to add that exhausted debuff to it. Just trying to think of how I want that to work. I think what I'll do is, let's just do this. Override execution result. execution result, execution context dot card sets dot add dot debuff container dot add debuff. So let's do this. If execution count provider dot get value is greater than or equal to is greater than execution limit, then we're going to add the debuff. Let's do is equal to execution limit plus 1. Add debuff, new exhausted debuff. Int duration. Oh. We'll just put in a duration of 0 in here. I don't think the duration does anything by default. Okay, you know what we'll do? There's a duration in here. Tick debuff. D dot is expired. Remaining turns is less than or equal to 0. Let's do this then. We'll make it not so that it can't expire. And if I go to my card, oops, is expired equals can expire and that. So now this will be ticking down, but it's not going to do anything. Return empty result. All right, I don't know if that's going to work, but we'll see. I'm going for something like Old Zelda, A Link to the Past, but with guns, not much power-ups, the skills more big, but less upgrades. Yeah, I guess I could see a small RPG working then. Yeah. Do a couple of rooms, couple of different enemy types. I think that would be fine, now that I think about it. Okay. That apparently did not have the debuff activated. Oh wait, now it's got the debuff. Let's put a breakpoint in here. And we'll see what's going on. What's the effect for the Phoenix card now? The Phoenix will apply 20 fire 2 times, and then will become exhausted, which means that it won't do anything for the remainder of the encounter. Now it has a special effect of making the developer pull his hair out. That's true. Yeah, exhausted. Yeah, I think I kind of stumbled into that one, but I think, yeah, hooking into the debuff system is actually a good choice, because now I can add an exhausted effect. So now I can have a card for the player that can exhaust an enemy card and just basically take it off the board. You know what I mean? Like a pot of oil or something that pour out as content, but then has nothing left to do. Yeah. Or like a sapper of some sort. Exactly. Yeah. I think that that's actually, getting this to work is actually going to be really good. All right. So let's see. But it's going to be a question of what this looks like. That's 0. Oh, right. Execution limit there. I just get confused with the order of operations here. That's okay, though. That's okay. Everything is nice and modular. How long have you been streaming development of this? For several months now. I've been streaming this game basically since I started it, so you can go back in the VOD history and check it out. I would encourage you to do so, actually. Okay, so the problem here is that it's only on the 3rd execution that it becomes exhausted. So the problem here is, again, the order of operations. So what's happening is that this execution count provider is executing after this limited execution ability. And so since this is this count is not going to be updated until after this gets executed. So I think what I need to do is do something like execution limit -1. I don't know if I like that though. Let's see. Because it's adding a debuff while it's still doing its turn. What I could do is I could add another sort of like life cycle thing like post execution, but I don't know. I don't want to go down that road necessarily because that makes things really not necessarily more complicated, but there's just more stuff happening. That's interesting. Why is that not working? Emit signal card debuff added, card UI. I don't think it's happening when it should be happening. That's weird. Why is that not disappearing immediately? Let me see when this is actually happening. There's a lot of weird stuff going on here. Oh, am I just doing it wrong? Yeah, I was just doing it wrong. Oops. Why was it getting hidden? Oh, maybe it wasn't getting hidden. Oh, it wasn't getting hidden. It was just being locked at 0. That's why. It actually wasn't being made invisible. Okay. This makes sense. So maybe ideally I would let that execution finish first before hiding the turn progress bar. So wait till it starts its next turn before it hides, but maybe that's not necessary. That's going to add a lot of complexity to the code, so maybe I'll just leave it as is for now. Okay, so that's working. So it's no longer doing anything after that, so that's great. Now the next thing is to change the art. Now that's going to be the tricky one. I think what I might do is add another field to the card definition resource called alternate art. So maybe I'll do that. Let's try that real quick. So if I go to my Phoenix, so this is, let's just call this one Phoenix. Okay, let's add another layer here. Let's do Ash. Maybe we'll do this first. So hide the Phoenix. We'll lock the Phoenix as well. How am I going to do a pile of ash? That's going to be weird. Okay, so let's do this. I don't really have good ash colors. So this may actually end up looking really weird. But we will figure it out. I have no clue how I'm supposed to make this look like a pile of ash. I don't know. Love watching the entire health bar just evaporate, yeah. Wrong question. The real question is, how are you going to make the pile of ash that doesn't look like a pile of dookie? That's true. Maybe a smoke wisp? Oh, that would work. New color, count me in. Maybe more pointed at the top. I don't know, I'm bad at pixel art. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe an egg sitting in some ash. Ooh, that could work. Yeah. Minecraft gunpowder's a reference. Well, the problem with Minecraft gunpowder is that it's carried by the fact that it can be made gray. I don't have a gray color. So I don't think the Minecraft gunpowder sprite is actually that impressive of a sprite. It's just that if you make a gray blob and call it gunpowder, it looks like gunpowder. I think that looks okay. Maybe I'll take the advice of doing an egg behind this as well. Kind of situate the egg inside of it. Oops. Maybe the egg should actually sit on top. Could add some overlap here. Oops. Okay. Smoke above would be cool. Probably the Phoenix still needs to pretend to do something, but the game needs to know if the player turn has ended or not. Yeah, that's already handled. Could look like a warm dookie in the cold. It's a... Oh, yeah. I like where this is going. I think it's going okay, yeah. What about some feathers in the pile? Now, that's an idea! Thank you, Joseph. Let's, well, I won't... Don't let me forget that. I think that's a good idea. But I should probably focus on these parts first. I don't know if that ash pile... I'm not very good at drawing piles of ash. Yet another thing to practice, I suppose. What in the heck? Oops. Whatever, I'm not going to be able to see that portion anyway. I'm not very good at drawing eggs either. I need to do some egg practice, I think. No, I don't like this. I think I'll just switch to... Yeah, that looks better. Okay. I'm gonna call this one Egg Mound. I don't know why, but like... Never mind. Never mind. Might add some darker shades around there. I think that's okay. I don't know, it still doesn't look terribly like an egg, but I don't know, I think I'm just bad with eggs. Maybe making it a little bit stumper. Oh well. Let's just, oops. We're gonna just engage the quit while I'm ahead mantra. Yeah, this just looks weird here, I don't know. Oh wait, that looks a little bit better. Yeah, I think that looks better. Okay, so somebody said feathers. Oh, we got a lot of chats though. What's the art for? This is the alternate form of the phoenix. So this is the art that will display when the phoenix gets exhausted. I think you need to do that in a separate frame. Need more dithering, I think. Doesn't the egg have its shading on the left bottom? I think I did that, yeah. Yep, I'm just doing the shapes, yep. By the way, I don't see how Phoenix should turn into ash. I always imagine more of a pile of goo like Feather's bones. That's when the Phoenix Reborn turned to ash. Yeah. I mean, it's not realistic, if that's what you're saying. It's definitely not realistic. Looking good to me so far, thank you. And welcome to the stream, Vaughn. To create this, I did not create this palette myself. I got it from low spec. It's called Witching Hour. So I am doing all the art except for I didn't choose the color. I mean, I chose the color palette. I didn't choose the individual colors in the palette. Hello, Emerson. Yeah. If it's a phoenix, wouldn't it be a small bird head coming out of the ash instead of an egg? Yeah, probably, Bobby. Probably. But I'm going to take some artistic liberty and not draw a baby phoenix. I'm going to use my artistic liberty to be lazy. Is basically what I'm saying. Oh, you know what I'm realizing? Maybe this egg mound actually needs this. But I think that's what I was missing. I'm not doing my typical shading or separation of items. That looks better already. Okay. That's what I was missing, I think. Okay, perfect. I'll put that there. Anyway, let's do some feathers. Now we gotta figure out how to make this look like a feather. Actually, I don't think it'll be that difficult. Maybe it will be difficult, I don't know. Maybe we'll do like a bigger feather here. Oops. Okay, and now add an outline to all of them. This probably can be angled more. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. All right. Actually, I should call this Phoenix Mound. Maybe some bones sticking out. That could work. Poetic license, yes. How about transition animation that is a puff of feathers into the ash pile? That is going to be a little bit too complicated to do from a technical standpoint. If I have other cards that have a similar need, I may build a system for that. But as it stands right now, I would just be doing a bunch of work for the Phoenix specifically. And they're, you know, it's kind of a tough thing. I can't make a bespoke animation or effect for every single card. So I kind of have to balance that. I think I agree it would look nice, but I also have to kind of just keep in mind, like, that kind of stuff adds a lot of development effort, and I got to make sure that I'm moving in the direction of finishing the game while still making it look nice, right? I'm not going to cheap out on the effects, but yeah, I think that it's a good suggestion. I just don't know if it's going to be worthwhile at this point to do so. By the way, love your content. I'm a C# dev by trade. I'm starting to produce my own game in Godot with my free time. I found your Godot C# content extremely helpful. Awesome. Happy to hear that. Thank you for your message, Bobby. And I'm glad you're here, by the way. Why does it look like a Zelda game now? It looks like a Zelda game? I'll take that as a compliment. Some people have said that this game reminds them of Loop Hero too, which is a great compliment. I approve. Awesome. Yeah, I think this is going to look great. So now the next thing is... let's go to my card definition resource. Well, let me commit what I have first. Work on exhausted debuff. Add Phoenix Mound. Oh, I should probably go. Okay, we'll commit those two things. Okay, so now when I go to the card definition resource, I'm just going to call this alternate art. So we'll build this. I'm going to call it alternate art because that will just be like a secondary thing I can use for any purpose, really. So there's the alternate art. So how is this actually going to work? Base card. I don't know how to do this. I'm gonna implement this alternate art as a debuff, I think. So it'll just be a debuff that's just for technical purposes. Which is a little bit weird, but I think it's gonna work well with the system that I have. Although, what I could also do is, let me think. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do this, because it needs to reset to its art after the combat as well. Do I want to implement it as a debuff? How do I want to implement this? What do I want to do, buddy? Do I want to do a debuff? He just yawned in my face. Am I boring you? Am I boring you? What am I gonna do, little boy? What am I gonna do? Do I want to do it as a debuff? Let me think. When is the combat ended? Emitted. Where is the card? Where's this clear debuffs being called? Reset all card states. Oh, interesting. Why is that happening in the turn manager? Hold up a second. Public bool reset all state. No, not bool. Okay, that's handy. Why is that being happening in here? Why is that being happening in here? Let's see. Because the card already listens for on combat ended. Can I just call reset all state in here? I don't think it really matters what order this happens in. So this turn executor should not be responsible for managing card state, so let's get rid of that. So now what I'm thinking is that I could just have a... What I'm thinking is I could just have a... Maybe a boolean in here for something like show alternate art or something. Public void show alternate art. Public void show default art. And then when I call reset all state, I'll just say show default art. This is kind of a mess, but that's okay. Public bool is showing alternate art. That doesn't need to default to false. Thank you, though, Copilot. Need an architect advice here. Let's say I create a method to convert normalized vector 2 direction from input to isometric. Should I put it in every character body 2D script or somehow call it from what? By the way, I hate the character limits in chat. I don't think I can control that, unfortunately. Create a method to convert normalized vector 2 direction. Well, what I would do is... So there's a couple ways you could do it. If you're using GD script, I would probably just create a util. You can create static classes in GD script. So I would create like a static like vector 2 utils script or whatever with a static method that takes, you know, the normalized input and converts it to isometric. So that's one way to do it. If you're using C#, you could write an extension method. So you could do vector2.to isometric, for instance, and then that's just going to be available on every vector2 instance for you. Those are the ways I would handle it. I would not put it in every character body 2D script unless, I mean, of course, if the character body 2D is a script that's being reused in a bunch of characters and it's the only place that you need that to isometric, then it would be perfectly fine to place it in that single script. But if you have to repeat that implementation across multiple scripts, I would put it in a third place, like a static utility class or something like that. That would be my advice. What? Can I work, please, buddy? Signal alternate art shown event handler signal public delegate void default art shown event handler. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm just kind of doing this. Okay. I don't know. So I've got signals being emitted whenever this value changes now. And then what I'll do in the card here, card stats dot connect. Alternate art shown, callable.from. We'll just call this update art. Default art shown, update art, and we'll just call update art here as well. Private void update art. Card stats dot is showing alternate art. Card stats dot base card dot card definition resource dot alternate art. Otherwise that. I realize that's a long thing. There we go, that's better. Okay. So So that should be it. And now what I can do, I think in my... This might be a little bit iffy, but what I can do in here is I can say... execution context.card stats.show alternate art. Oh. This should only show... This shouldn't show every time I'm using an limited execution ability. This should show only for the Phoenix. Oh, I see. Oh, that's gonna be weird. Okay. So I don't want to add that in here because I could use a limited execution ability that doesn't change the art. So I don't want to do that. Ideally, there'd be a place that I can do this at the Phoenix level here. Now I'm thinking maybe I should have implemented this as a debuff. I mean, of course, I could just add like a flag in here like show alternate art. Here, I'm going to rename this actually. This is going to be so limited execution ability. I'm going to rename this to exhaustible ability. Exhaustible ability, and then bool show alternate art on exhaust equals false. Read only bool show alternate art on exhaust. Oh shoot, that's not going to work either. This needs to be very specific. I need to keep in mind that this can be alchemized. So I don't want this property to be handed over. I need like extra conditionality. So that's not going to work either. Okay. Yeah, I forgot this can be alchemized. So I think the alternate art for the Phoenix is good. So here's what I'll do. I think this is going to have to be the compromise here. Show alternate art on exhaust will be true. However, let's do this. If show alternate art on exhaust, show alternate art, nope. Card stats dot show alternate art. Show alternate art is showing alternate art equals true. But in my card here, what I'm going to need to do is do var texture. Texture, we'll do a null coalescing to card definition.art. So if there is no alternate art, it'll just fall back to the default texture. So that will handle the case where the Phoenix ability gets alchemized onto something else where it doesn't have an alternate art. And I'm not going to draw alternate art for everything that gets exhausted. The Phoenix is kind of like a special case. But, yeah, I think that's fine. So it'll handle it for the, yeah, for the Phoenix case. And if there is other art that can be exhaustible and then this gets alchemized onto it, that will just work automatically. So I don't know, that's kind of iffy. That's kind of iffy, but I don't know. I don't know of a better way to do it right now. But let's go ahead and see now. I'm using it for your course, so we'll explore the static class thing. Okay, gotcha. We forgot about alchemy. Yep, we did forget about alchemy. That's okay. It'll work. The worst case is that there will be no alternate art for the exhausted. And I'll probably add some kind of extra effect to the card to show that it's exhausted. Go. Go, go, go. The cat is just sitting on the chair next to me, meowing in my face. Go. Go away. You're being annoying. I'm working. Go. Go, go, go. All of a sudden, Phoenix becomes a bad card to alchemize. Yeah. I mean, it depends. Oh, that's dormant. That's wrong. Okay. Let's see if it works. Any bets if it'll work? Let's see. It didn't work. Amazing. It didn't work. Oh, right, because I forgot to do this. I also have a debugger error. What was that error? Well, we'll find out, I guess. There it goes. It changed art, and it should change back after the combat is done. It did not change back. Okay, let's take a look. Collection was modified. Enumeration operation may not execute. I'll just convert that to an array so I'm not modifying the collection when I'm removing things. Okay, I think that will work. It just turns into a pile of ash. And now we have to wait. I'll speed up the combat. Oh no, he's healing. Oh no. Am I gonna win? I might still win because of the necrosis. There we go. The Phoenix is back now. And if I go into another combat, all of that combat state should have been updated. So now it should go again. There we go. Nice. Look at that. And then it's back. Very easy. Very nice. Can't alter a list in a for each, but you can in a for loop. Yeah, because you're tracking the because you're tracking the index, but then you'd have to modify the index value if you're removing items from the list. So you'd have to like decrement the index value. I wonder why that wasn't an issue before, or at least maybe it just wasn't an issue that I caught before. So obviously, I think it would be nice to have some better animation stuff in there because it just happens instantaneously. I'm not going to necessarily worry about that right now, but I think it would be good to maybe have that art change apply at a later point in time rather than instantly, but it's okay. It's not super important to worry about right now. So the thing is, I can't actually alchemize this with anything because it takes up the entire alchemy thing. So I still need to figure out a way of letting the player make the alchemy bigger, but... Okay, so what do we got going on here? So we added the alternate art. This needs to go back to 5. So I'll change that back to 5. Cool. Got rid of all that card state in the turn executor. Fixed that issue, added that. Cool. Renamed the exhaustible ability. Cool. All right, I think the Phoenix is now done. The Phoenix is done. Bring on the cosmetic microtransactions. Yeah, seriously. Oh, goodness. Okay, that's going to be it for the stream today. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you all for being here. Very much appreciate that. And again, if you want to support my work, check out the links in the description below. You can purchase my roguelite shooter Gunforged, and you can also purchase one of my Udemy courses. Again, all those are linked below. And I should be streaming at the normal time tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. But hit the notification bell to be notified when I'm going live. I hope you all have a good day, and I will see you in the next one. All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.